Girl approaches the rope monster. Suddenly, a hand reaches out. Then, morning, the woman took a road trip with her daughter. They arrived at Hemp Rope Town, where there's a museum housing the universe's largest hemp rope ball. The girl curiously touched it. Suddenly, the sound of a child crying echoed nearby. She turned her head but saw no one. Then her rope was snatched away. The girl hurriedly followed, but the rope was devoured by the monster. Then the hemp rope ball made a strange noise. The girl, curious, walked over, gently pressed it to her ear. Suddenly, a black hand emerged from the ball, but when the girl noticed, the black hand quickly retreated, just as the girl was puzzled. The mom yanked a rope from her mouth, tossed it on the ground, then grabbed the axe, swung it at the cops, looked at the exposed hemp rope. She realized these folks weren't cops, but some hemp rope spirits. Morning, the mom took her daughter on a road trip, but the daughter, traveling solo, mysteriously vanished. The mom had to roll up to the police station to file a report. Although she was very anxious, the cops found it amusing, so she left the police station. But little did she know, out of nowhere, two cops rushed in, grabbing her. The cops shoved her hands into her mouth, pulled out a hemp rope ball, then stuffed the bouncing hemp rope ball into the mom's mouth. The hemp rope made its way into her body. The enraged woman grabbed an axe, swung it at the cops, bolted out of the police station. But when she hit the street, a group of hemp rope monsters surrounded her. Inside a woman's belly, something unusual seems to be growing. Suddenly, the doctor is overcome with fear. He's never faced a case like this and quickly decides to perform an emergency delivery. However, her belly starts to swell rapidly, and she screams in excruciating pain. The doctor desperately tries to calm her, but then, the woman seizes a surgical knife nearby. In a swift and eerie twist of events, a nurse takes immediate action, forcing her to the ground. The woman passes out. The doctor, prepared for childbirth, is suddenly confronted by a chilling occurrence. A mysterious, dark liquid pours from her, flooding the room. Her belly continues to expand uncontrollably, and then, an enormous crab begins to emerge slowly, crawling its way out. The two witnesses are paralyzed with fear. The newborn crab appears malevolent and launches a terrifying assault, causing them to flee for their lives. Now, the question looms: what sinister force led to this woman's horrifying pregnancy? As she opened her eyes, she realized she could only move her eyes. A chubby girl inserted a syringe into her hand. The woman looked closely and saw that the Barbie doll opposite her could only move its eyes too. The chubby girl gathered the three of them in a circle, resembling a tea party of three real-life Barbies. The chubby girl sat happily, picked up an empty teacup, and laughed at herself while sipping. Tears streamed down the woman's face in fear. Everything seemed blurry to her. She desperately tried to open her eyes, understanding the effect of the drug on her. While the drug's effects hadn't fully taken hold, the woman exerted all her strength to push the teacup in front of her for self-rescue. The chubby girl left the room. The woman quickly removed the syringe from her hand, stood up from her seat, and began to walk faster, trying to escape. However, she realized she was only running in place. Fearful, she ran faster, tripped over herself, and fell to the ground. She crawled in pain, trying to escape. Suddenly, she felt her legs go numb. She looked down and saw her legs had turned into plastic. The woman flicked on the restroom light, her hands covered in a viscous liquid. She perched herself on the toilet seat and took a swig from her glass of red wine. Then she opened the nearby trash can, pulling out 3 wallets. As it turned out, she was an enchanting thief. She stashed the cash in her bra, while anything else deemed useless was tossed aside. After these clandestine transactions, the woman tidied her attire, cleaned up the scene, and checked herself in the mirror. She had originally intended to depart this place, but as she glanced back, the opulence of the restroom's decor made her wonder if the mirrored cabinet might conceal something valuable. Driven by curiosity, she tugged at it vigorously, even resorting to lock-picking tools. The door eventually swung open, but not without her accidentally cutting her hand. She hastily attended to her wounded hand, and in the next moment, just moments ago, this stunning lady was attempting to pilfer from the cabinet. She exerted her utmost strength to finally swing the cabinet door open, but what lay inside left her utterly aghast, causing her to slam the door shut and press her body against it for dear life. However, the contents inside the cabinet had different plans. After a struggle, leaving the woman in a state of panic, she cried out for help, but the partygoers were too engrossed in their own revelry to pay her any mind. With no other option, she inched her way toward the door, careful not to draw attention. As her body neared the exit, She couldn't have anticipated the disaster waiting to unfold, as the excessive loot stashed in her bra caused her pocket watch to accidentally tumble out, sealing her fate once and for all. When toilets turn human. One day ago, a dude was using the restroom. Suddenly he heard a strange noise. Curious, he approached, mustered up the courage to open the door. What he saw was, before he escaped, the guy was pushed to the ground. A hand crawled out from the toilet. The toilet monster extended his 2-meter-long neck. The guy, frightened, hastily made his escape, but the next day, the man-eating toilet monsters mutated. They hit the streets, launching attacks on humans, forcefully breaking into people's homes, sparing not even the little dogs. Infected by the virus, even the dogs underwent a transformation, becoming toilet dogs. Do you know what the weakness of the toilet monsters is?
Pay attention. The girl fell asleep on the seat. The man saw it and stepped forward immediately. After confirming that the only passenger was asleep, he pretended to help the girl and cut the girl's necklace with nail clippers. But he didn't know the man on the opposite seat was a policeman. He took out the knife and was about to open her wallet. The girl bumped the thief's head suddenly and knocked him down with one action. It turns out that the girl is also a policeman, but when she was about to arrest the thief, the man stopped her. This behavior made her mistakenly think that he is the partner of the thief. She locked the policeman on the railing. The thief ran out. She immediately caught up, but the thief wears skateboard shoes. Seeing that the girl couldn't catch up with him, the thief was complacent, but the girl had a special skill of memorizing a map of the entire subway. She knew which exit he would get out from. She took off her heels and took a shortcut to pursue the thief. She successfully blocked the thief. The thief turned his head and ran away, but she could stop the thief every time. Finally, the thief is exhausted. When he looked up, the thief was frightened and fainted on the spot.
Can you believe this otter was originally a man? Now a doctor is training the otter. To provoke the otter's animal instincts, the doctor disguises himself as an otter and continuously provokes it. The otter gets infuriated and launches a fierce attack on the doctor. Unable to defend himself, the doctor removes the otter disguise. Standing up, with a knife in hand, he prepares to deliver the final blow. The otter is thoroughly enraged and uses its ivory tusks to pierce the doctor. Faced with the fallen doctor, the otter madly thrusts its tusks into the doctor's body. The man's friends find him, but the man has lost his sanity, becoming a true otter. Finally, he is placed in a zoo. He dares not face his girlfriend. She tosses a raw fish. He emerges to eat it. Watching his best friend embrace the girlfriend and walk away, he sheds tears of heartbreak.